What's up everyone, my name is Farid, you guys already know that. Please watch this video with earbuds or headphones for better enjoyment. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe and ring the little bell to get notified every time I post a new video. Please follow me on social media and relax and enjoy.
Scooby Doo is an American animated franchise comprising many animated television series produced from 1969 to the present day. Writers Joe Ruby and Ken Spears created the original series, Scooby Doo, Where Are You?, for Hanna-Barbera Productions in 1969. This Saturday morning cartoon series featured four teenagers, Fred Jones, Daphne Blake, Velma Dinkley, and Norville Shaggy Rogers, and their talking brown Great Dane named Scooby Doo, who solve mysteries involving supposedly supernatural creatures through a series of antics and missteps. Following the success of the original series, Hanna-Barbera and its successor Warner Bros. Animation have produced numerous follow-ups and spin-off animated series and several related works, including television specials and made-for-TV movies, a line of direct-to-video films, and two Warner Bros.-produced theatrical feature films. Some versions of Scooby-Doo feature different variations of the show's supernatural theme, and include characters such as Scooby's cousin Scooby-Dum and nephew Scrappy-Doo, in addition to or instead of some of the original characters. Scooby-Doo was originally broadcast on CBS from 1969 to 1975, when it moved to ABC. ABC aired variations of the show until canceling it in 1985, and presented a spin-off featuring characters as children's, A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, from 1988 until 1991. Two Scooby-Doo reboots aired as part of Kids WB on the WB and its successor, the CW, from 2002 until 2008. Further reboots were produced for Cartoon Network beginning on 2010 and continuing through 2018. Repeats of the various Scooby-Doo series are frequently broadcast on Cartoon Network's sister channel Boomerang in the United States as well as in other countries. Currently, Boomerang is planning its own reboot of Scooby-Doo and Guess Who, intended to air sometime in 2019. In 2013, TV Guide ranked Scooby-Doo the fifth greatest TV cartoon. In 1968, parent-run organizations, particularly Action for Children's Television, ACT, began protesting what they perceived as excessive violence in Saturday morning cartoons. Most of these shows were Hanna-Barbera action cartoons such as Space Ghost, The Herculoids, and Birdman and the Galaxy Trio. And virtually all of them were canceled by 1969 because of pressure from the parent groups. Members of those watch groups served as advisors to Hanna-Barbera and other animation students to ensure that new programs would be safe for children. Fred Silverman, executive for daytime programming at CBS, was then looking for a show that would both revitalize his Sunday morning line and please the watch groups. The result was The Archie Show, based on Bob Montana's teenage humor comic book Archie. Also successful were the musical numbers The Archies performed during each program, one of which, Sugar Sugar, was the most successful Billboard #1 hit of 1969. Eager to build upon this success, Silverman contacted producers William Hanna and Joseph Barbera about creating another show based on a teenage rock group, this time featuring teens who solved mysteries between gigs. Silverman envisioned the show as a cross between the popular I Love Mystery radio series of the 1940s and either the Archie characters or the popular early 1960s television series The Many Loves of Dobby Gillis. After attempting to develop his own version of the show called House of Mystery, Barbera, who developed and sold Hanna-Barbera shows while Hanna produced them, passed the task along to story writers Joe Ruby and Ken Spears, as well as artist/character designer Iwao Takamoto. Their treatment, based in part on the Archie show, was titled Mysteries 5 and featured 5 teenagers: Joff, Mike, Kelly, Linda, and Linda's brother WW, along with their bogle-playing dog, Too Much, who collectively formed the band Mysteries 5. When the Mysteries 5 were not performing at gigs, they were out solving spooky mysteries involving ghosts, zombies, and other supernatural creatures. Ruby and Spears were unable to decide whether Too Much would be a large cowardly dog or a small feisty one. When the former was chosen, Ruby and Spears wrote Too Much as a Great Dane, but revised the dog character to a large sheepdog similar to the Archie's sheepdog Hot Dog, just before their presentation to Silverman, as Ruby feared the character would be too similar to the comic strip character Marmaduke. Silverman rejected their initial pitch, and after consulting with Barbera on next step, got Barbera's permission to go ahead with Too Much being a Great Dane instead of a sheepdog. During the design phase, lead character designer Takamoto consulted a studio colleague who was a breeder of Great Danes. After learning the characteristics of a prize-winning Great Dane from her, Takamoto proceeded to break most of the rules and design Too Much with overly bowed legs, a double chin, and a sloped back, among other abnormalities. Ruby and Spears' second pass at the show used Dobby Gillies as the template for the teenagers rather than Archie. The treatment retained the dog Too Much while reducing the number of teenagers to 4, removing the Mike character and retaining Joff, Kelly, Linda, and WW. As their personalities were modified, so were the characters' names. Joff became Ronnie, later renamed Fred, at Silverman's behest. Kelly became Daphne, Linda became Velma, and WW became Shaggy. The teens were now based on 4 teenage characters from the many loves of Dobby Gillis. Dobby Gillis, Thalia Menninger, Zelda Gilroy, and Maynard G. Krabs, respectively. The revised show was repitched to Silverman, who liked the material, but, disliking the title Mysteries 5, decided to call the show Who's Scared. Silverman presented Who's Scared to CBS executives as the centerpiece for the upcoming 1969-1970 season Saturday morning cartoon block. CBS President Frank Stanton felt that the presentation artwork was too scary for young viewers and, thinking the show would be the same, decided to pass on it. Now without a centerpiece for the upcoming season's programming, Silverman had Ruby, Spears, and the Hanna-Barbera staff revise the treatments and presentation materials to tone down the show and better reflect its comedy elements. The rock band element was dropped, and more attention was focused upon Shaggy and Too Much. According to Ruby and Spears, Silverman was inspired by Frank Sinatra's sketch Doobie Doobie Doo, Doobie Doobie Doo, at the end of his recording of Strangers in the Night, on a flight to one of the development meetings, and decided to rename the dog Scooby Doo, and rechristened the show Scooby Doo, Where Are You? The revised show was represented to CBS executives, who approved it for production.